Welcome back to the Name Redacted podcast, America's most beloved podcast, the most downloaded Red Sox podcast in the world. Today is Tuesday, March 28th, 2 days shy of what, Tyler?
Of opening day.
Opening day, Tyler! It's opening day! The 2023 Boston Red Sox season is upon us. After a long wait, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it was too long to go without Red Sox baseball. Spring training, it's too damn long. There's too many games. Again, Tyler,
please.
one more time, yeah. It's too long. Everyone wants to come back from Florida to see the Boston Red Sox play real baseball games. The Boston Red Sox, the Baltimore Orioles. Are we doing a Stop and Shop look ahead on this fucking show?
Yes, we are.
Holy shit. Wow, the Stop and Shop look ahead makes its return, episode 77. And the continuation of our Red Sox preseason storylines. We did the manager and rotation on last week's episode. And this week, or this episode, we will be doing the lineup. And we will be doing, but before, I think when I did the blog, I think I broke it down infield, outfield, catcher. It was too much. It was broken down. Unless we want to do it that way, Tyler. We could do it that way if you want. We might as well.
We can hit the bench guys at that point, right? A little bit easier on that end.
Why not? Why not us? So we're going to have to go through all of that. But before we do, baseball fans, America's pastime is back. Step up to the plate for some season opener action with the DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can place a $5 pregame moneyline bet and get $100, $150 in bonus bets. Wow, if their team wins. Talk about hitting it out of the park. Plus, everyone can get in on the Major League action with a no-sweat bet from DraftKings. Opt in, and if your first bet doesn't win, don't sweat it. You'll get a bonus back up to $10. Tyler, are you throwing any scratch on opening day? I feel like you should.
Honestly, I want to start to get into the betting game. This might have to be my introduction to it.
So let's just say hypothetically, today's opening day. What piques your interest? Are you looking at like over under Corey Kluber strikeouts? You can do like outs recorded, maybe a Rafael Devers homer, a Tristan Casas home run,
honestly,
Masataka Yoshida, like over under 1.5 hits. Like, what are you looking at?
If I had to pick, I'd go Yoshida over 1.5 hits. If that's what's out there, I'll take a multi-hit day after what I saw today. Please.
Yeah. What was it? 420?
More than it was over 420, well beyond 420.
Wow.
And over that triangle, few guys do that.
But Masataka Yoshida does. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code JARED, J-A-R-E-D. New customers can bet just $5 on any pregame money line and get $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code JARED, J-A-R-E-D. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the outfield since we're on Yoshida?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We'll leave the roster stuff, or we can really kind of do it as we go now that we're hitting on who's playing where, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I guess before we get into the storylines, let's tickle the balls a little bit, because the Red Sox Twitter chatter this past week was about who did and who did not make the roster. Our dear friend Robert Dahlbeck optioned to the Woo Sox, which I don't think that it was much of a surprise. Speaking candidly here, I would imagine that Bobby Dahlbeck and Tristan Casas were probably told at some point long ago what the deal was. I don't think that there was a competition. I think Bobby Dahlbeck could have hit 650 with a 2,000 OPS in spring training, and he wasn't starting on opening day. Like, I just don't think that was going to happen.
He wasn't. And I think, it became a little bit of an interesting situation because of Yu Chang, right? He had the visa, didn't get into camp until this past Thursday. So everyone's like, well, if you don't have Chang, Dahlbeck makes sense as the guy. They're playing him at shortstop, third. He's got some time at second on the backfields or whatever. He could do it. But realistically, when they signed Chang to a major league deal, That's what it was. Bobby Dublik has options. He can go sit in AAA as depth. I think they were hoping someone would trade for him. They're showing him in all these spots. Open up a 40-man spot for us to make some of these decisions a little bit easier because they're in a crunch now. But yeah, Yu Chang was always the guy. He can field the positions a lot better than Dublik can at short or second. So yeah, until Mondesi's back, Chang has a spot on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, his contract was didn't he get bullied into playing in the World Baseball Classic, by the way?
Yeah, it was like a requirement for like duty or whatever. Like if he didn't do it, like it would be a penalty. Like this was one of his responsibilities as a citizen over there in Taiwan.
Yeah, like you're going to fucking jail, dude. If you're not playing the World Baseball Classic.
And you know what? He went there and fucking tore it up and won Pool A MVP. So this guy isn't scared of anything.
No, nor should he be. So Bobby Dahlbeck down to AAA. Worcester. It's amazing how many players that actually play for the Red Sox don't know how to pronounce Worcester.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of them have no idea.
I remember I was in middle school and I was calling it Worcester and someone actually had to tell me. And I grew my entire life here.
You're a fucking idiot, though. Like that's incredible that you live here and you don't know how to pronounce Worcester.
Listen, in 6th grade, if someone walked up to you and asked about Worcester, what do you know about Worcester when you're 12 years old?
I knew about Worcester because
what were you doing in Worcester at 12 years old, Jared? Tell me.
I wasn't in Worcester, but they would say the Worcester Palladium on the radio. And like when my mom would drive me to school and she would have Kiss 108 on and they'd be like, well, we're giving away tickets this weekend to see Ricky Martin at the Worcester Palladium. And you call in. You're calling number fucking 45. You get 2 tickets to see Ricky Martin at the Worcester Palladium this weekend, Friday night, 7 p.m. Living La Vida Loca.
I think the reality is as a Brockton boy, someone who grew up down here my whole life, we don't really acknowledge Worcester. We look at Worcester as a little brother to us. We are kind of the city outside of Boston.
You're both terrible places to be, objectively speaking.
Whoa, you ever been to a Brockton Rocks game, buddy?
No, but I've seen video and it looks like it's falling apart.
Campanelli Stadium is a fine establishment. I will not stand for that.
By the way, I will definitely be going to Brockton Rocks games this summer because my friend Marika is on the team. Female baseball player.
I was reading about this.
Yep. She's playing for the team this summer and I promised her I would go to her games, but like I Google Maps it. It's like an hour away. Like she was like, oh, I'm playing baseball in Massachusetts this summer. I was like, sick. It might as well be in Egypt. It's an hour away.
Well, remember we were doing, this is some background talk, but we were talking about me making trips up to do the pod there. We're looking at the GPS. We're like, holy shit, this is an actual hour back and forth.
Crazy.
But I will say you have another reason to come to Brockton.
What's that?
The Savannah Bananas are coming here.
Oh yeah, I did. Yes. Yeah. Cause they wanted Pat Light to come play. And then he was like, I got too much business going on.
Fraud.
Unless he's selling it, he might just be saying that he's all business right now because he's been training this entire time. Maybe he said, I'm not baseball Pat anymore to build suspense for when he returns to the mound for the first time since he drank his way out of baseball.
Well, the reality is he's already a better pitcher than Caleb Ort, so please show up.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Jared, we'll get into it. Secondly,
Tyler, spare me.
Spare nothing. You're the only person who likes Caleb Ort on this entire fucking planet, and he gave up another run today.
True. That's not true. I'll call his fucking parents right now. I bet you they're huge fans.
They can't stand him. They cannot stand him.
Who knows? I mean, I've never met them, but I would imagine that someone out there in the world is a Caleb Ort fan.
Yeah, Heim Bloom. That's it. I will say, secondly,
he's making the team.
We'll see. I have some points on that.
No, he's making the team.
I don't know. Listen, the Red Sox are considering almost any other option. They're basically looking at any other team will let go. They're saying, you know what? That sounds better than Caleb Ort. We'll just wait and see whatever is the best of the trash.
They might put Tapia in the bullpen.
I'd take that over Caleb Ort as well.
Yeah. I don't know what he did to you, but it's discouraging is what it is. That's the word.
What did Caleb Ort do to me? He posted a 9.58 ERA this spring with a 2.42 whip.
Oh, it's under 10.
Good for him. Pat Light's ERA was also under 10.
Jake, is Caleb Ort's ERA this spring under 10? Yes or no?
I was just looking at his velo numbers, to be honest.
Well, what were they? What were those?
Up around 100.
Oh my God, this guy throws triple digits, dude.
It legit took
You're telling me you don't have a place in your heart and your bullpen for Caleb Ort when he throws 101 miles an hour?
Fuck no. Not if he gets hit every single time he does it. Good for him. He's one of many quadruple A relievers that can do that.
You ever hear a thing called luck, Tyler? You ever hear of luck?
Yeah, I have heard of luck.
These guys are closing their eyes and swinging their dicks off just to get a piece of Caleb Ort. Like, congratulations, you got the best of them today, but these games don't count. And when the Ort dog gets called up and starts blowing chundos past everyone and wins the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year award, who's going to be laughing then? Me and Caleb Ort.
I would like nothing more for him because he's flying with Duran with the Red Sox. They haven't finalized their spots. I would love nothing more for him to fly with the team for opening day, and then they tell him when he lands they made a move and he will not be on the roster. That is all I want.
That feels like a personal.
It's not.
Grudge.
I have nothing against Caleb.
Personal.
No, don't tell me what feels personal.
No,
I know
I'm
what's
telling
personal.
you how I feel. You can't tell me how I feel. I feel like it's Jake. Do you feel like this is kind of personal between Tyler and Caleb Ort?
It's getting a little personal.
It's getting personal. I don't know. Guy wants him to fly all the way to opening day just to get sent back to Worcester. That's kind of fucked up. Imagine thinking that you're going to live in Boston and then you find out that you have to live in Worcester. That's terrible. Who would wish that on someone unless it was personal?
If Caleb Ort is so lost to the point that he believes he'll be on this roster for even more than a week, best case scenario, or 2 weeks, whatever, it has to be 15 days, then I'm more concerned about his mind than his pitching ability on the mound. That would be even more concerning to me. And secondly, it took Wyatt Mills getting hurt for this to even happen. The Red Sox don't have any other options on the 40-man. They're not including Mata, Walter, or Murphy. So it is just Caleb Ort. And he's going to cost Tapia potentially a spot on this roster. That's
Name another
happening.
Red Sox podcast that spends 15 minutes on Caleb Ort on their podcast right before opening day. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. That's why we're the best. You get 15 minutes breaking down Caleb Ort's impact on the 2023 Boston Red Sox today on episode 77 in our part 2 of our season preview. When I said, let's start with the outfield, boom, Caleb Ort, right up your ass. Right up your ass. The last bullpen spot we just spent fucking 15 minutes on when we said, let's start with the outfield. What do you think about Masataka Yoshida? I don't know, but I'll tell you about Caleb Ort.
Can we go back to the happy stuff? Can we go back to Yoshida?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm excited about Ort. Hashtag support. Hashtag support. But the ORT is capitalized, Tyler. Hashtag support.
Report.
No. All right. Anyways, we're starting with the bullpen, right? No. We're starting with the outfield, right?
Yes.
Jay, cut that. The outfield, obviously the number one storyline, Masataka Yoshida. We can cut past all the bullshit, right? I don't want to talk about, can he transfer over? Like, he played in Japan and he's unproven and we don't know what he is. All those things are valid. Who fucking cares? I don't fucking care. Like, why would we have this conversation about a guy like Yoshida when it feels like a waste of breath to me? I just want to know what you think he can be removed from. Like, I'm talking about the skill set. I'm talking about his skill set, what you've seen in spring training, what you've seen in the World Baseball Classic. Leave out the whole he's coming from Japan, now he's playing in the big leagues. Can he make the transition? If he can play in the World Baseball Classic at a high level, which he set the record for most runs driven in by any player in World Baseball Classic history?
Correct.
I don't know. Does that have anything to do with fucking having a good eye? Jake, do you know anyone that's just like, wow, he fucking led the league in RBIs this year. Good eye, dude. Like, am I crazy?
Yeah, nobody.
You talk about walks with a good eye. Yeah, he got on base. He hit over 400 too in the fucking tournament. And he drove in more runs than anyone, not just in this tournament, in any World Baseball Classic ever. That's why now I'm at a point where at first I was questioning, and again, I'll never question Alex Cora ever again. I learned my fucking lesson, okay? When we were talking about Yoshida leading off in this lineup, I was like, all right, yeah, like that makes a lot of sense. Guy walks. He walks more than he strikes out. He gets on base. That sounds like a leadoff hitter to me. Then you watch him out here driving in runs left and right, and Cora wants to bat him fourth. I'm like, oh, that's why. That's a cleanup hitter cleans the fucking bases when there's people on him. That's what Masataka Yoshida is doing during the World Baseball Classic. So I'm never going to question Alex Cora again. I want to know where you're at in terms of your expectations for him, because I know that a name that people are calling into the conversation as it pertains to Yoshida is Xander Bogaerts. And you may be sitting there being like, Xander Bogaerts, he's a shortstop. Why the fuck would they compare Xander Bogaerts to Yoshida when he's a left fielder? Well, because when you talk about wins above replacement, the total package, the offensive production, the base running, the defense, and what that can bring you. Is there a case to be made, or is the comparison valid, is what I want to know.
I think it 100% can be valid. And we know, like you said, the projections that have come out from Bad X, Steamer, whoever you want to go and look at, they are Xander Bogaerts from last season, like almost to a T. It's like a 300 batting average, 370, 380 OBP, and then 15 jacks. Now, hand up, I think I tweeted maybe 2 weeks ago how many homers Masataka Yoshida will hit this year. I said 16. I'm feeling pretty fucking stupid for saying that right now. And, you know, we had heard some reports, whatever it was early in camp, that, yeah, Yoshida's power is something to really consider. What he did to Charlie Morton today, you're hitting a ball well past the triangle, well past that 420 mark. That stands out to me. You're getting hits off Patrick Sandoval. Like, these are legit major league pitchers, very good major league pitchers. Yoshida doesn't look phased. He doesn't look overwhelmed. They tried to tell us he couldn't play the outfield. I have not seen one moment, and we have a decent chunk of time of Yoshida in left field for that WBC, now in spring training. You combine those. Has there been a moment where you looked at him and said, this guy can't play the position? Fuck no. So why can't he be Xander Bogaerts from last season? And, you know, I compare it a little bit. Could he be like Andrew Benintendi in 2018? Now, it may not be the same level of defense or, you know, steals. It was a 20-bag season for Benintendi then. But 290, 366, 465, 830 OPS with the 123 OPS plus. Yeah, I could picture Yoshida doing that. And it seems like really quickly, the Jeff Passons of the world, whoever it is, they watch him and they realize how good he is. This guy is not going to be, you know, Shogo Akiyama, who can't even hit a ball. He doesn't have the strength to face major league pitching. Yoshida, this dude is fucking, he's small, but he is built. He is a thick boy.
Does he hit 300?
I'll go 295, but I'll say he hits, 22 homers.
Is the on base north of 350?
Easy money. I feel more confident in that than anything. He is going to walk. I have no doubt in my mind. There was like a two-seamer he faced the other day. You could see that kind of shook him up, but there might be a little more K than walk early in the season as he just adjusts to new pitchers. But by the end of the year, I think that walk rate is going to be amongst the best in all of baseball. And he's in a lineup that breeds that shit. Look around you. Tristan Cassis, Justin Turner, Alex Verdugo is a guy who does not strike out a lot. This is the philosophy they're going with this year. And like Kyle Schwarber set the tone in 2021, I think all these guys will do a very similar thing this year. It's going to be a way different Red Sox lineup than last year or even the year before that. This is old school Red Sox where fifth inning, that starting pitcher is right around 100 pitches and sweating fucking bullets because there are no easy outs.
Is his OPS north of 825?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I'll say yes, but right above. I'm not going way higher than that, but you look at Benintendi, 830 OPS in 2018. It was about a 123 OPS plus. I have him in that exact area.
Okay. Fair. All right. Is this Alex Verdugo's breakout season finally, with Alex Cora calling him out at season's end a year ago? Alex Verdugo taking that to heart, saying at first it pissed him off, then it was motivation, then he started to get in the gym, he started to work out on explosive energy instead of I want to be powerful and hit home runs. He wanted the quick twitch fibers going. Does any of that translate for you? And are we talking about Alex Verdugo as a player that we haven't seen this Alex Verdugo before? Or is he just, this is a nice season from Verdugo, but it's nothing that's blowing my dick off right now?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever expect Verdugo to take that leap at this point and be, some superstar or anything like that. I think that's asking a lot, but he looks way better in right field. Threw a guy out the other day, and that looked like the old Alex Verdugo arm I remember in 2021 and even 2020. It's just, you could tell the Red Sox, with the weight he's lost, he looks better out there. He hasn't mashed since coming back from the WBC. Swung it really well before then, but apparently they put a lot of trust in him. He's going to be the leadoff hitter for this team a majority of the time to start the year. The last, I think 4 out of the 5 last days where the starting lineup's been out there, he's the number one guy. So at least against right-handed pitching, they're telling Alex Verdugo, set the tone for this lineup. If you can't make it work here, then realistically, Verdugo, you're not going to make it work in Boston. Now, it doesn't have to work in the leadoff spot, but you can't fall flat on your face. You got to give them something.
How do you feel about the left to start the lineup?
I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. Now, is it ideal? Of course not. But against righties, sure, let's run wild. Against lefties, something Verdugo hasn't always hit super well, then I'd be a little nervous. That's when I want to see Kike, Arroyo, I'd consider, and you kind of mix and match from there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Lefty doesn't bother me against righties, but it's not abnormal to have two different lineups depending on who's got the start that day. But as long, I mean, if like I'm saying before, if Verdugo's hitting like 275 and he's got like a 340 on base and whatever, he's slugging for something, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, like roll with the punches. Like that's as long as he's getting on base, I think that Verdugo is an intriguing option. He's not my first pick, as we know. I'm a Tristan Casas out of the leadoff spot guy. But as a caveat to that, I also said I don't want to start the season with Casas leading off. I think that's where we end up. I think that's the goal. I think that's the destination. But for now, if Yoshida's going to back clean up and he's not going to lead off, and Casas is not going to be your leadoff guy to start the season, it's almost like by default. No, it's not a bad default to default to, but yeah, Verdugo makes the most sense.
And the other thing I throw in with Verdugo, like he wants this challenge. This is something he asked for. We know years past, wasn't really interested in being a leadoff hitter. Talked about hitting second, like he was more comfortable in a spot like that. That's not going to happen here with Rafael Devers in the lineup, but he asked for it. Verdugo said, I'll be the leadoff hitter for this team. I'm willing to step up. Or Chris Verdugo told us that at the very least. That's what it is. And I'll be real with you. If he's hitting 275 or whatever, I'm going to be upset. I'm looking for something along the lines of better than 2021, better than 2022. I don't know if he's ever going to be 2020, where he finished 13th in MVP voting or 12th, whatever it was. It was actually 12th, but give me that 115 OPS plus with improved defense in right field, because if he is struggling out in right field as well, it's going to be really hard to justify, an average bat like he's been really the last 2 years.
Tyler, do you have the balls to say that Alex Verdugo makes the all-star team this year? Is that something that you see in your crystal ball?
No, but that shouldn't say I don't like the player. I like the player. I still think it's there.
I'm not saying you don't like the player. I'm just saying you don't believe in him. But
no, I wouldn't bet on Alex Verdugo being an all-star.
Yeah, I know you don't believe in him.
How? Oh, are you betting on that, Mr. Carrabis?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Really? What's the line going to look like
at the All-Star game?
Yeah,
I think he starts off red hot. I think by the All-Star game, Alex Verdugo is hitting like 321 with a 362 on base, and he's slugging 479.
Yeah. Just think about the outfield. Now, Andrew Benintendi made it last year, so realistically, Verdugo could hold that spot. He could be that guy.
Hey,
what?
Andrew Benintendi is a good player.
Spare me. Listen, better than Verdugo right now.
He just got a 5-year fucking deal. You think how many players? Hey, Jake, how many players do you know that got 5-year deals that absolutely sucked besides Pablo Sandoval and Rusney Castillo? Both decisions that the Red Sox made.
Yeah, nobody besides those guys.
Yeah, thank you.
If the Boston Red Sox signed Andrew Benintendi to a 5-year deal at this point, I would smack my head off this wooden desk and break it. I'm telling you right now.
Is this breaking news? The Red Sox made an offer to Andrew Benintendi.
Yes, I think there was a little bit mention of that. Not 5 years, though.
No. I think they went 3.
Okay, yeah, that seems normal. 5 years doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Who reported that?
I remember, maybe you were the one who mentioned that behind the scenes. I can't actually remember. I can't connect it because I feel like I would have tweeted it if it was someone out there. It might be.
So then maybe, you know what? Breaking news. The Boston Red Sox made an offer to Andrew Benintendi this past offseason, but guess what? It wasn't enough years to lure in the big dog, and he ends up in the south side of Chicago. 5 years to go to the White Sox. Changing socks out here.
Now,
the Red Sox did make him an offer.
Let me ask you, right? So Benintendi, similar-ish profile to Yoshida, not the same power, but we're talking, OBP, average, some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Better defense. Would you have taken Benintendi over Yoshida?
No.
Okay, good. We're on the same page then.
I don't think that there are many for as popular as he was. All right, put it this way. It's March 28th, right? So like, yes, there's a ton of hype around Masataka Yoshida, but he hasn't played a fucking big league game yet. And even still, for as popular as Andrew Benintendi was during his Red Sox tenure, if you were to poll Red Sox fans, I still think that Yoshida wins in a landslide.
I would have said until the WBC, most people would have voted for Benintendi. If you're including the average fan, I'm not talking about the people even who just listen to this podcast, but if you throw it up on sports Twitter, the casual Red Sox fan will be like, look, I love Andrew Benintendi. Remember the catch in 2018? Do you remember how great that was? And they'd say Yoshida, who knows if he can even play in the big leagues.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think if you were to put it out on Twitter and it existed in the Red Sox Twitter bubble, like if you did like a Nesson poll,
exactly,
then you're getting like the 64-year-olds that are like, but I love my Andrew Benintendi. I love him. Like they don't know, they have no idea who Yoshida is. But I think if you put it to the more educated Red Sox fan, if you put it out on Red Sox Twitter, I would say that Yoshida wins that one pretty convincingly. I don't think it's like, I think it's probably like 64% for Yoshida.
All I'm telling you is that 352 BABIP for Andrew Benintendi last year, that inflated those stats quite a bit. It will not be the same case this season.
You just have it out for him.
I am known for having a bit of an Andrew Benintendi hater thing to me, a little bit.
I should note that they obviously, whatever. No, I don't care.
I'll just say Josh Winkowski looks like he'll be making the bullpen. Struck out 5 over 2 innings. And
suck on it.
Oh, you suck on it, Caleb Ward, okay? Don't even fucking mention Josh Winkowski's name in the same sentence as Caleb Ward.
Wishes he was Caleb Ward.
Oh, you fuck off.
Spare me.
When is the last time Caleb Ward can't even get through an outing without a run? What's Josh Winkowski's ERA this spring? 1.13. Thank you.
Caleb Ward, first of all, you're an idiot if you think that Caleb Ort isn't going out there trying to get shelled because he's like, I'm not going to give you my good stuff. I'm not going to give you a chance to get adjusted to the good shit. He's going out there trying to like plant false confidence in his opponents. So it's like, oh yeah, you guys hit 6 home runs off me today? Cool. Try and do that during the regular season when it actually counts.
Props to him. He's so good at doing that he probably is going to end up in AAA relatively soon.
No, he's not. And he's a psychological warrior. He's an assassin.
Does he have a cool mustache like Josh Winkowski?
Josh Winkowski doesn't have a cool mustache.
Oh, he has one of the coolest mustaches, actually.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
If you divide Caleb Ort's ERA by 9, it's not even as good as friggin' Josh Winkowski's.
Jake, do you think Josh Winkowski has a cool mustache?
It could be a lot cooler.
It could be a lot cooler. I've seen some pretty cool mustaches in my day. That one doesn't rank in the top 5,000, I don't think.
I just want to recite this thing I heard on the radio today.
Was it by you?
No, it was not. It was during the Red Sox game. When Caleb Ort was getting shelled and Dave Bush came out to him, the radio broadcast mentioned they had never seen him spend so much time talking to a pitcher before on the mound. So you can tell that Caleb Ort is so destroyed that Dave Bush was trying to fix him out there and they ran out of time and was like, hey, good luck. Try to get through this outing. We have no more answers for you.
Suck on it.
Anyways, the outfield discussion continues with Adam Duvall. And I feel like this is a popular take. This is not a hot take by any means. He could go either way. Like, I think Adam Duvall, there's only 2 possible outcomes for his season. And I think the best possible outcome still isn't like outstanding. I think his ceiling is we hope that he becomes Hunter Renfroe, but odds are against that happening, so to speak. It's going to be low batting average. It's going to be high strikeouts, and you're hoping that he runs into 30, right?
That's it. And we've seen this spring, like he's hit 4 homers. Cool. Started the spring very cold, but overall, I like what I've seen. I think the biggest thing for me, we know what the bat is, like you said. Can his body hold up playing center field? And I think that's a massive question that we don't know. I don't think the Red Sox know either, because when he was playing center field every day in 2022, he didn't hit those first 2 months. That's when he was playing center field. After they moved him to a corner, he started hitting again. Now he's hitting bombs this spring. Once we get through April where it's cold and May, is he able to kind of keep up his body and be able to handle that workload? Because we don't know when Kike Hernandez is going to be able to go out there and give him a breather. We have no idea what's going on with Mondesi or what the timetable is. And Trevor Story's even farther away than that.
What is the timetable on Mondesi? Is there any update there whatsoever? Like, because he was doing baseball activities, right?
That's basically been it. He's been doing them, but it feels like whatever the step is to, playing in a game or anything like that, they just haven't got that far. And it feels like for like 2 or 3 weeks now, we really haven't had a legit update that, he's taken a big step forward. That's why some people were like, well, do you throw Mondesi on the 60-day IL? I haven't heard anything on that happening, but it's like, I don't know. Is he going to be ready by the end of April? He hasn't played in any games.
Right. Rob Refsnyder?
Love me some Rob Refsnyder.
He's a great guy. You love him.
Yeah, I think I would. Journeyman who, seems like, and I was surprised, someone mentioned it in their column the last couple of days. He was one of the main guys recruiting for the Red Sox this offseason, which, you get a call from Rob Refsnyder. I don't know how much that's going to really do for you, but he seems to carry a little bit of that
do a
veteran.
Lot for me.
Yeah, a lot for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He carries that veteran leadership. You can see the guys a lot, or the guys in that clubhouse like him. Lefty masher. That's what he is. Go play all 3 outfield positions. Will he be what he was last year? I think that's asking a lot of anybody, but he's kind of made for this role. I feel comfortable in him. It's a professional at bat. Give me that versatility.
I love Rob Refsnyder. I'm happy that he's here. That is crazy that he was recruiting, though.
Yeah, it was. I think they mentioned Story, Kike, and there might have been one more name in there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But those were the guys like making calls. And
interesting.
For Refsnyder, I'm happy for him. You got your first big league contract. Like, you are on the major league team. I hope he runs with it, because if he does anything like he did last year, he'll be one of the best bench pieces in recent Red Sox memory.
Be like Adam Stern.
Sure.
Have you used Adam Stern yet in your random Red Sox highlights yet?
No, honestly, I haven't posted a couple of those in like 4 or 5 days. I felt like people got bored of them. I was like, all right, maybe I'm doing a little too much here.
No. You need to have more confidence in your little Twitter segments.
I try to just see what the likes are getting, and if the likes are down, I'm usually like, all right, I don't know. But sometimes people get comfortable. They start to expect it. You know what I mean?
I think it's more so just when you were doing it during the World Baseball Classic, people were just tuned out on the Red Sox.
That is a great take. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about the Red Sox during the World Baseball Classic.
Social media mastermind, Jared Carrabis.
It's me.
We do have a weird situation with that last outfield spot now, because technically there were supposed to be 5 outfielders. If they asked us a week ago, we would have been saying Tapia,
Duran.
I'm not super confident about Tapia being on the team right now. I don't think it's a no, but we know his agent is making calls to see if there's spots anywhere else. Will he be like Alfaro where nobody wants him? I don't know. Tapia keeps going off. He had another homer on the backfields the other day. But with the Red Sox 40-man crunch, if they even DFA a guy at this point, okay, well, they have 13 healthy pitchers. They're going to be flipping Ort for somebody else. You don't have room to DFA anybody more for another outfield spot. So does Duran basically kind of eat shit for 2 weeks until you can send him back down to AAA and get regular ABs? And that depends. Is Tapia still in the organization at that point? We'll see.
I also just didn't really factor Duran into the opening day roster at all.
He wasn't going to make it until Wyatt Mills got hurt. Tapia had a spot. It was like Mills would fill the last bullpen spot. You tell Ort to go kick rocks, and then Tapia's on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Now you basically need Ort as a body. You don't want the guy. You're willing to take anything else.
Oh, we want the guy.
You want the guy.
We want the guy.
Don't put that. I feel so bad for people you put this on. This is just you. Jake, you're on this as well?
I want the guy.
He wants the guy, Tyler.
The Red Sox don't want the guy.
No, they want the guy, because if they didn't want the guy, he wouldn't be here right now.
They are looking for anything and anyone.
Let me go back and I'm going to read you some of my Caleb Ort tweets.
I'm looking forward to this. I want to hear the positivity that you were spewing about Caleb Ort. Listen, I'll be the first one, hands up. There was a time when I was intrigued by Caleb Ort. I've just seen enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That Yankees appearance is not enough for me.
September 9th, 2022. I said Caleb Ort not invited to 2023.
Oh, interesting.
September 22nd, 2022. I don't care about that at all. We already decided that Caleb Ort wasn't invited to 2023 a long time ago. September 25th, 2022. The only reason we're sitting here is because the league wants Caleb Ort to serve up a dick ball to Aaron Judge so he can hit 61 at home, and I'm fine with that.
Please keep going.
September 26th, 2022. I'm sure Caleb Ort is a nice guy, but he might be the worst to ever do it.
You agreed with me once upon a time.
Yeah, I changed. People change.
What changed it for you? Did you get some secret info over the offseason and he's going to break out like a gyro ball on opening day?
Just wait. September 28th, 2022. Has there ever been a more guaranteed outcome in pro sports than Caleb Ort giving up a bomb? September 29th, 2022. Ain't no way Caleb Ort's being asked to save a Major League Baseball game.
That's your guy.
December 16th, 2022. The Red Sox are a couple free agency misses away from Caleb Ort getting his own month in the 2023 Boston Red Sox team calendar.
Now imagine the president of your fan club saying this shit, how you would feel as a man. I probably
this was all a big motivational tactic to get Caleb Ort to where he is this year, which is the leading candidate for Rolaids Relief Man of the Year.
I just
that's true.
Nope. Nope. Please, Heim Bloom, if you can do anything for me at this point in time, find whatever quadruple A, scrap reliever you can find and bring him into this bullpen for the next week or 2 weeks, whatever it is.
They stopped doing the Rolaids Relief Man Award in 2012.
Wow. So he's going to bring it back.
Yes.
Pat Light or Caleb Ort?
In terms of what?
For the Red Sox on opening day.
Caleb Ort.
I would take Pat Light.
Pat Light, see, that's why you're dumb. But Pat Light doesn't even play baseball. He's a businessman.
And this is why you're a fucking idiot. Pat Light's in the best shape of his life right now.
That's a good point. But counterpoint, you're an idiot because how many pitchers that were fat like Pat lost weight and weren't as good anymore?
Another counterpoint, Pat Light, when he was fat, sucked. So maybe now that he's skinny and fit, he'll be good.
Okay.
Draw?
All right. Yeah, draw.
Okay. Sorry, Pat.
I'm not sorry about any of that. But I am sorry that I'm not drinking a Blue Moon right now.
Oh, no.
So,
please.
Yeah, I wish I was drinking a Blue Moon right this second. But I'm out because of last night, and I've had a very busy day today, so I haven't had the chance to go restock my Blue Moons. But let's see. We're what? Actually, we'll be at Fenway. By the way, yeah. We have a whole, I've barely promoted this. We have a meet and greet at the House of Blues at 11 a.m. before opening day, which is on Lansdowne Street behind the Green Monster. Tyler will not be there. Peter will be there. I'll be there. Jake will be there. Is anyone else coming?
I think it's just us three.
Us three. Me, Jake, and Pete will be there. Tyler will be at work. For 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yes, I was not fortunate enough to get the time off, but as part of this podcast, I apologize for not being there. I got to take responsibility for that, and that's all I can do.
You got to pay the bills. You got to do what you got to do. But we will be there at the House of Blues at 11 a.m. It's not a live show. We're just kind of hanging out, which I don't know. It depends on what you prefer. But we're going to be mingling, meeting the people, shaking hands, kissing babies, and keeping the good vibes going. And we'll be drinking Blue Moons. And Jake is going to tell you a little bit about Blue Moon. with some other words. I don't know.
Jake.
I don't know what he's going to say, but Jake, take it away.
Spring training is here, which means baseball is finally back. Blue Moon gives you a dose of ballpark nostalgia to get you excited for the baseball season. In fact, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantee a one-of-a-kind beer experience perfect for spring weather. Jared, Pete, and I are going to be crushing some Blue Moons over at House of Blues this Thursday before the game. Unfortunately, Tyler will not be in attendance, as we just heard. He says it's because he's got to do some work over at 98.5, but I've been hearing some rumblings that it's for a much different reason. Someone told me that Tyler has actually been selected as the guy who gets to personally tell Caleb Ort that he's not making the opening day roster. From what I've heard, it's basically like a Make-A-Wish situation where they're like, look, this Tyler kid has taken so many fat L's recently, we just need to get him a dub. And what better way to get him a dub than to let the face of Caleb Ort hate tell Ort to his face that he's not making the team. Tyler, I'm happy for you, man. I'm excited. Go have a great time. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored, with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something one-of-a-kind? Best served with a signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color, a beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you for spring training. Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That's get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale.
Thank you, Jake. As always, it's always a pleasure to hear from Jake and his immense passion for Blue Moon.
Speak for yourself.
No. We all love Blue Moon here. We do. You do. I do. Everyone does. So would you like to move into the infield now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Move to the infield. Would you like to start at the catching position? Because I know that was a hot button topic in the last 24 hours because Jorge Alfaro did not make the team. And a listener of the podcast was tweeting about one of my takes. And I said I wanted to make Alfaro to make the team. But misquoted me. I didn't say that Alfaro was a better catcher than Reese McGuire or Connor Wong. He's actually not a very good catcher at all. I just wanted him on the team for the vibes. That's it. And if you're going to use him as a DH, obviously there might be better options. There are better options. But I just wanted him on the team. Like it had nothing to do with anything beyond the fact that he'll hit whatever, like 7 bombs a year and they'll all be majestic and his hair is magnificent. Like that's really all it was. This was not an analytical baseball conversation that I was trying to have with the audience. But Jorge Alfaro apparently could not find a home elsewhere. So he is optioned to, it's not optioned. It's accepting a minor league assignment, correct?
Yeah.
So he accepts a minor league assignment to Worcester, which means that we'll have Connor Wong and Reese McGuire as the catching tandem. Who do you think gets more reps back there?
Definitely Reese McGuire. I think, the way he hit at the end of last year, it's impossible to expect anything like that this year, but he should be, not the easiest at bat. He can kind of work pitchers a little bit. It's really what he does behind the plate that has him in the spot. He's looked really good throwing out runners so far. Pitchers like throwing to him, and Veritek has spoken so highly of Reese during the spring, saying like, this guy is better than what I thought when he came here. And yeah, he should be fine. He's what he is. Is he a top line catcher or anything like that? No, he should be able to give you fine defense, good game calling skills. And if he can be anywhere near average in the bat or with the bat, call it a 90 OPS plus, you're doing backflips because you're getting basically what Christian Vasquez was at that point.
He played in 36 games for the Boston Red Sox, got over 100 plate appearances, and hit 337 with an 877 OPS.
Absurd. The BABIP was crazy. Everything was falling for him.
I didn't know this. Did you know he was a first rounder?
Yeah, he once upon a time, he was like really coveted. People were hyped about him.
I only knew him as the parking lot jerk off guy. He's a first rounder. He got taken 14th overall in the draft.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people, when he started hitting last year, like, oh, did they get him back on track? Was this a thing where he just needed a legit opportunity? I don't know. Maybe there is something there. Maybe they think they have found more ceiling, and that's what the Red Sox are saying.
He was in the Mark Appel draft.
Tough
Damn.
draft.
That's a tough draft for the Astros. Mark Appel goes number 1, who shout out to Mark Appel. Great guy. I love him. Just retired, I believe. Chris Bryant, number 2 to the Cubs. John Gray to the Rockies. Cole Stewart. Clint Frazier.
Yikes.
Clint Frazier. He was just informed that he didn't make whatever fucking team he's in camp for.
Jackson? Right? Is he Jackson Frazier now? Is that the name?
No, he's back to Clint, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Colin Moran. The fucking Trey Ball draft.
One of the worst draft picks of all time.
One of the worst to ever do it. Like, the Red Sox had the number 7 pick that year, and they took Trey Ball. Who could they have had? They could have had Hunter Dozier, who's still with the Royals, Austin Meadows. So they could have prevented the Tyler Glasnow trade. Dom Smith, no longer with the Mets. They could have had Hunter Renfroe, ended up getting him anyway. Could have had Reese McGuire at number 14, ended up getting him anyway. JP Crawford. Tim Anderson, they could have had. Marco Gonzalez, who I love.
Your boy.
My boy. They could have had Christian Arroyo, who they fucking love the first rounders from 2013. Christian Arroyo went number 25 in that draft.
Listen, if you're a prospect and you have not fulfilled your potential or whatever it is, the Red Sox will take you in and we'll try to find that potential.
You know who went number 32 in that draft?
No. Who is it?
Aaron Judge.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. Yikes.
The Red Sox. But the Red Sox got Trey Ball, though. They got the ball, man.
My favorite part of the Trey Ball experience was when he realized how much he sucked at pitching, and then he tried to become a hitter, and he realized he sucks somehow even more at that.
He tried to become a hitter?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he had a pretty big hit in a playoff game, too. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but his last year in professional baseball, he tried to become a hitter.
He kind of looks like a skinnier Clay Buchholz.
Yeah, and that was it. They were like, this guy, he is so projectable. He is like what you imagine a high school lefty with all the potential in the world could be.
He made it as high as AA, had a career ERA in the minors of 5.02.
Would you like the career batting line?
Please.
Here we go. It was only 29 plate appearances. He had 130, 241, 217 with a 459 OPS.
Pretty good.
Horrendous, actually.
I can't. I've definitely been upset about this draft in the past, and I feel like is it Trey Ball that Pat Light was like, yeah, he was a really nice guy though.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's who it was. And the reason why we could kind of move past this was the major hits, the drafts before this. When you're fucking pulling Mookie Betts and, all these guys out of there, like you were able to accept it and move forward.
All this episode has told me was, damn, would it really be nice to have Pat Light here? There are a number of times where like, hey, Pat Light, can you chime in on this topic that is relevant to you? But he's not here.
He gave up on us.
He did. He abandoned us for business, for money, for greed.
I'm sick.
I am too.
I want to add one thing to the Connor Wong thing or conversation. Yep. The people who were crying about Jorge Alfaro, who has an 89 OPS plus for his career, horrendous behind the plate. He can throw a little bit, but he doesn't throw guys out. It's not like he's nailing everyone who tries to steal on him. He just has a good arm and a decent pop time.
Spare me.
But no, behind the plate when he caught Chris Sale or that Baltimore game from a week ago or whatever, he was awful, like multiple bad wild pitches. With Connor Wong, he's someone that veteran pitchers have told you, this guy, he's great at receiving. I think he can be a leader. Rich Hill has said that a couple different times now. Hit a bomb today to that same spot Yoshida did. He hit 15 homers and had like mid 800s OPS in 81 games at AAA. Like, people act like this guy is just some bum they've strung along here. No, he mashed at AAA last season, has potential behind the plate. Isn't this the time to figure it out in a bridge year?
Connor Wong?
Yeah.
I will say this.
It's the Mookie trade. I get it. I know it turns people off. But
No. Well, yes. Yeah, I think that that's part of it for a lot of people. But for me, I do see a lot of upside with Connor Wong, and I don't want to say that I'm like super high on him.
But you hated him last week.
Did I?
You told me that Connor Wong doesn't smile. You're like, you know what? I can't stand that guy. Who was it? Christian Arroyo did an interview with him.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Okay.
Like, laugh. Christian Arroyo's funny. Laugh.
Now,
that pissed me off.
But
I do, in the back of my head, I am mentally preparing myself for like Connor Wong to be like, oh wow, Connor Wong. Like I think that exists in him for sure. I haven't, like, Jeter Downs, when he came up, I was like, I don't see it.
Nope.
I just don't see it. Like, this guy is not like a stud prospect. Like, I don't know what the fuck, like, people, like, I don't know what the hype is all about here. But with Connor Wong, I do see it, especially with the pop. Like, his first big league homer was a bomb. Like, this dude, and I don't know, maybe because I guess the comparison would be like a Jason Varitek type. Jason Varitek, if you told him a joke in 2003, he's not fucking laughing either. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just, I don't know. I think that there's a ton of potential with Connor Wong, and I think that there's a lot of untapped something with Connor Wong.
Well. And like, I know it sounds like I'm shitting on Alfaro. I'm so happy he stuck around here. That's depth you need in AAA. You have him and Caleb Hamilton. If something goes wrong, cool. That's good enough. You know, there's a reason no other team before opening day was like, give me Jorge Alfaro. There's struggles behind the plate. And at the end of the day, you're going to take someone who can kind of hold their own back there and make you feel more comfortable, especially with all the question marks for the staff. So, and guess what? If Wong sucks after 2 months, Alfaro has his opt-outs on June 1st and July 1st. Great. Wong, you're not cutting it. Hit the road, go back down to AAA, whatever it is. Then you can bring Alfaro up.
Rafael Devers, I feel like, I don't know what the storyline is there. It's just, is it weird if the first thing that we go to is health? I mean, he had some health issues last year. He was hurt in the playoffs in 21. People forget, every time fucking Rafi took a swing, he would just drop the bat. Like, he was in so much pain. He was wearing the sleeve on his arm, but he was still mashing homers to dead center in the playoffs. He was still an impact player. But we've been talking about back-to-back years that Rafi has had some injury troubles. So here's to hoping that he has a completely healthy season in 2023. And if he does, the over-under, I think the over-under I saw today was 31.5 maybe for home runs for Devers. Where are you taking there?
I take the over. He had like 27 homers before that hamstring injury happened. He was going to be at least near 40, if not over, before all this stuff happened. I think he had like 5 homers in the second half, like right around there. It really like sucked his power. He had 27 home runs overall. I think he was at like 22 at the start of July. So we're talking about a guy in Devers who was having the best season of his career up until that point. We've seen him already have a 900 OPS in 2019. What I'm looking at for Rafael Devers right now is, can you make that next jump into a, top 5 MVP finish, or, be that guy? Now you play with Ohtani. So it's Ohtani and everybody else. Aaron Judge, is he going to do what he did last year? I'd guess not. But it's time for Devers to establish himself.
Guess not.
I'd assume not. You think Judge is going to do what he did last year?
No.
Okay, so that's my assumption. I'd look at Rafael Devers and say, all right, show me you're in that group. Take that next step we're waiting for. And if he's in top 5 MVP voting, which this team probably needs, that can change the whole outlook for anybody who's looking at the 2023 Red Sox.
Enough was not made about the fact that they literally changed out the balls for Aaron Judge to hit more home runs.
No, everyone just accepted it for what it was because it was a nice story.
Yeah. They literally gave Aaron Judge bouncy balls so that he could break the home run record. And the only reason why I'm not complaining is because I hate Roger Maris Jr. more than I hate Injustice.
And he still barely did it.
Yeah.
Still took everything in his power and he barely did it.
Mm-hmm. As long as we never have to see Roger Maris Jr. Like if someone even hits 60 home runs again and Roger Maris Jr. comes around just because like he thinks that passing his dad is like just as important as passing like the actual record, I won't allow it. I won't allow that.
He's expired. I've never hated someone who showed up to a ballpark every night so much. Even if Caleb Ort showed up every night for the Red Sox, I wouldn't hate him that much.
I hope Caleb Ort pitches in fucking 15 of the first 17 games.
Well, great. Then the season will be over at that point.
No, it won't. Yeah, maybe the Red Sox will build up such a big lead in the division that it's basically over.
They will be 0-17.
Nope. You'll see, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to be the only person on the support train.
Please, Heim, find anybody else. That's all I ask.
You'll see.
One thing for me.
You look so stupid. You always do.
I want to add one thing to the Devers conversation, and maybe this can flip us to Justin Turner as well. And I heard that, Jared. I always do. Hurtful, painful, but I'll accept it. Justin Turner, the arrival of Justin Turner this year. One of the biggest things for Turner will be supporting Rafael Devers. Now, he'll also be playing first base for Tristan Casas at times. But we saw the hamstring that got Devers last year and kind of sucked all his power out. Now he gets that breather with Justin Turner here. We're not asking you to be out there, through ridiculous stretches of the season like Xander and him have been through. I think the Red Sox really want to kind of protect him, keep him healthy over 162. Justin Turner's kind of the key of that, right?
I would imagine so, yeah. And not now, especially now that Bobby Dahlbeck's not here, that responsibility falls on Justin Turner, who's going to be playing some first base, some third base, some DH, some second base even. He's going to be all over the place, which I guess in a way, like if Jorge Alfaro goes down to Worcester and it just starts mashing homers, they're going to have to free up his spots so that you can come back up here. Like why keep him around if you're not outside the possibility of like, oh, this guy could come up here and maybe DH a little bit. But yeah, Justin Turner, a very welcomed addition. I don't quite know what to expect because it was a tale of two seasons for him last year. And it's always a positive when the offensive outburst comes in the second half because it's like, oh, like he figured something out. Like he made an adjustment and it worked. So like, can you parlay that into the next season? Sure. Like, I don't see why not. I mean, my dude's like, what, 37 years old now?
38.
38 years old? Oh my God. 38. So yeah, I don't quite know what my expectations are. I think a lot of people pointed to Justin Turner's second half last season and think that he's just going to pick up where he left off. And I think that would be a little misguided to assume that that's going to be the case, but doesn't mean he can't contribute in a big way. I mean, he's going to need to. Like if you're hitting third, if you're hitting behind Devers, you are going to have to carry your weight if you're going to be hitting third in this lineup because I don't necessarily think it's next man up because when you're talking about lineup balance, left, right, you want to have a righty to protect Rafael Devers. Well, JD Martinez ain't walking through that door anymore, folks. I don't know like which Adam Duvall, like what if Adam Duvall goes the other way? Like there's no safe bet for, well, we've got this guy as it pertains to a righty bat that you can pencil in the number 3 slot that is guaranteed to be a guy that's going to protect Rafael Devers. So it's a big ask of Justin Turner, but he's done it before and he can do it again.
And, on top of that, it's like the leadership responsibilities. He is kind of leading this clubhouse. And we've seen just from the start of camp to now as he's got more comfortable, him and Kike are still kind of doing it together, but you see the impact of Justin Turner and what that voice brings. And I'll add this, dude, watching JD Martinez last year and how his body looked, Justin Turner looks younger than him. I know that's a couple years difference, but Turner looks like he's in much closer to, I don't know what it is. He looks more youthful than JD, who at times looks like a very old man.
JD's very businesslike, whereas I think Justin Turner is more youthful in his, I don't know what the word is, his
energy.
Approach. Yeah, his energy. Yeah, he's more youthful in his energy. But yeah, I don't know. I like both guys. I'm just interested to see what his season looks like. So if I ask you, let's go to Justin Turner's Baseball Reference page right now. Justin Turner, last year, he hit 278 with a 788 OPS. The year before, 278 again. 278 to back-to-back years with an 832 OPS. He hit 13 home runs last year in 128 games. So
23 less games in 2021.
does he hit 20 home runs?
Yeah. I think you get him at Fenway Park out of Dodger Stadium and a ballpark that's maybe a little more hitter friendly. And he's, he tends to go kind of oppo a little bit with some of his power, but hitting at Fenway Park, some of those long warning track balls in LA, they're going to be homers here. And just from what I've seen so far this spring, dude, he took a baseball off his face and he still has looked great at the plate. Working walks, hit a homer about a week ago. Everything I've seen from Justin Turner,
great.
Yeah, that's what you want. He just needs to be there and continue to work the count. He's one of the roots of this new philosophy. I didn't think Justin Turner was going to look this good at the plate. He's impressed me. I'm pretty high on him. I think we're going to get a good season.
Yeah, I mean, his career on base percentage is 366, but since 2017, his on base percentage is 381. So that's beautiful. I'll take that OBP all day. Like if we were talking about Yoshida's on base percentage being in the 380s, my God, this place would be covered in fucking Go-Gurt. I think his double. So here's my hot take. Justin Turner is going to have his first career in his 15th big league season. Justin Turner will have his first 40 double season.
I like that. That's strong.
Yeah.
He's going to be friends with the monster.
Sure. I mean, last year he had what? His career high was last year. He had 36 doubles last year. He had 34 in 2016, 32 in 2017, but 36 doubles a year ago. So when you look at the homers, you're like, oh wow, he went from whatever, 27 home runs to 13. Like that's not great. All right, but he had a career high in doubles last year, 36. You put him in Fenway Park. Why not? Why not a 40 double season for Justin Turner?
Will you go over on the 20 homers or no? Will you just say he's going to double it, double machine and he hits 15?
Yeah, for some reason in my head, I'm seeing 18 homers and 41 doubles.
I'd take that. I'd be very happy with that.
I would be very happy with that as well. Yeah, give me 18 homers, but he's just an absolute doubles machine. Kike Hernandez. Kikazo. I've got high hopes for Kike this year. He's clearly motivated. I think he's a guy. He's got the ass. I think he's been told no for a long time. I mean, it wasn't until 2021 that this guy was told you're an everyday player in the big leagues. I don't know exactly what to expect. Like, I'm not expecting like all-star season out of Kike. I'm not expecting him to be the focal point of this team. He's not being asked to do any of that stuff. He's being asked like to, Trevor Story, like everyone's getting put in positions that they probably wouldn't really love. I mean, like Kike wants to be a shortstop. I asked him, like, what position you want to play? He said shortstop. But a lot of guys are being put in positions that they weren't originally planning on being in because of Xander Bogaerts leaving, because of Trevor Story's injury. So I think with Kike, I'm just happy to have like, I don't know, like a 700 OPS. Like, is that fair? Like, would you go higher?
It's tough, right? So like if you look at 2021, is that season repeatable? Like he hit 20 jacks with a 786 OPS and it was still, not amazing, but it was a 108 OPS plus. If you got that from him this year, you're doing backflips, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, can he replicate that? I don't know. I think one of the craziest things you can do is if you look at 2021 Kike's Baseball Savant page and you compare it to 2022, dude was red everything in 2021. Like you looked at those metrics and you're like, okay, now I see where this guy is going. I think his worst percentile was 49th percentile barrel percentage. Last year, all blue. Just about everything except defense was blue. And he wasn't right. He had an injury that was a lot worse than any of us knew. Didn't exactly kill the ball when he came back, though. So if you meet me somewhere in the middle, and I think that's where you are, Jared, the Red Sox would take that. I'm hoping for a little bit more, but he's going to play great defense. We don't have to worry about that. It's just, can your body hold up, and can you give more than you did at the plate last season?
So the whole thing for me with Kike is, can he be a bizarro world JD Martinez, where when JD Martinez played in the field, his offensive numbers dropped off drastically. When he was just a DH, his numbers were significantly better. Does playing shortstop, like feeling like, hey, like this has been my dream in the big leagues. I want to be the starting shortstop for a team that's in contention, a big market team. Does the juice of getting to be the starting shortstop for the Boston Red Sox help him, I guess, stay focused, more motivated? Like, you feel more validated, you get that boost of confidence. Does that have an effect on his offensive output? I think it's a question worth asking.
And I'll add to that, I think Kike talked about it. Not only does he feel more in the game at shortstop, but his body feels better. So maybe moving there, yes, it's still shortstop. It's a demanding position, but he said the outfield really kind of took a hit on his body at times. We saw that, right? Can you get to that point? I don't think it's crazy. I don't think he'll be as bad as he was this past year. Do I think 2021 might be hoping for a lot? Probably. Just get me somewhere in that 90 OPS plus area with great defense. And, the lineup, they're not asking him to carry it. Like, he's slotted 9th most days, it seems. They're going to put Christian Arroyo ahead of him, hitting 7th. So not too much pressure, Kike. Now, if you don't perform, the media is going to kill this man after the spring he had, and he's been cocky, and I'm happy he is. I love it. But like you said, he has something to prove to these people. Hopefully that gives him that spark to start the year.
Mm-hmm. I guess quickly, Christian Arroyo. I've always been a big Christian Arroyo guy. I think that he can be an everyday player in the big leagues. I think that he thinks he can be an everyday player in the big leagues. Will he get that opportunity? Will he keep that opportunity? It's really up to him, I feel like. Arroyo can play his way into this lineup every day, and he can certainly play himself out of this lineup every day. There will be other circumstances in play here, whether or not Kike performs. Does Trevor Story come back? Is the team good enough at the trade deadline where they pursue an infield option at the trade deadline? Who knows? Like, in terms of staying under the luxury tax and what they'll be able to finagle there. But I think that he's a very interesting piece on this team because no one's talking about him. He's not, so I guess not to be an insult, he's not supposed to be there. Like, it was supposed to be Xander Bogaerts at short and Trevor Story at second. That was the plan. Sanders in San Diego and Trevor Story could potentially be out for the year. Either way, he's missing a lot of time. So I don't mean it as disrespect, but the original play, this is not how we drew it up. That doesn't matter because he's here now, and I think that he can be an impactful player on this team. Will he be the MVP of the team? Probably not. But can he be a player that is a workhorse and a grinder and contributes in a big way, a positive way? Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely believe that. When you don't have him in right field, he's a sound defender at second base, and he's got some pop. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. He can get on base. He's a spark plug. His teammates love him. Great clubhouse guy. So I think that he can be one of several important pieces of the team this year.
I think you put it perfectly. Just prove to the world you're that everyday guy who can stay healthy. And we know the prospect pedigree. We know all these things. It's just, this is your shot. If you don't make it happen here, you're going to probably be a bench player for the rest of your career. But if he tears it up until June, July, August, and Trevor Story starts knocking on the door, who knows? Arroyo might be looked at as a trade piece. Like, is this a guy that, he's not really, we don't have room for him as a starting second baseman moving forward or whatever it may be. Or in a couple years, who knows where his value's at? This is what we're going to do with him. But there will be openings, we know, depending on what happens with Nick York and Marcel Meyer this year. We could get to the end of the season, say Trevor Story makes it back, looks good, Kike goes by the wayside. Christian Arroyo has a great year, proves that he's an everyday player. Whoa, that could be your shortstop second base combo until one of those guys pushes through to the majors or Who knows? Maybe they fall off the wagon completely. Not Marcelo, but Nick York, new batting stance. I don't know. That's what you're playing with. Arroyo has his future in his hands. Run with it. And yeah, if he goes down, it gets scary because then, as we mentioned earlier, we don't have to go back to Yu Chang, but that's the next alternative until you have Mondesi.
Yep. Then we get to Tristan Casas, the not even the leader in the clubhouse for Rookie of the Year. Masataka Yoshida comes into the regular season with better odds to win the award than Tristan Casas himself. Little internal competition never hurt, but I've got big expectations. I know a lot of Red Sox fans feel the same way in terms of what this guy can be. And it's almost two different questions. What can he be long term? What can he be this year? Because I don't think that it's very rare that you have a highly touted prospect who's going to come in his rookie year and be the monster that everyone talks about him becoming eventually at some point. Could it take a few years for him to reach the MVP conversation within the league? Yeah, of course. But that doesn't mean that he can't come in year one and be a player that is one of the reasons why you're having a special season.
100%. And like, I look at what he did. What was it, last Friday night? That walk-off bomb. Like, anybody who watched that, you felt something. It's like, whoa. Mm-hmm. All right. Like, this is Tristan Casas, not scared of the moment or whatever it is. Just shows up there, goes swinging, hits an absolute nuke. And he's had a nice spring. We've seen it. Made another nice defensive play. And yeah, there's big expectations for him. That's where the Red Sox are right now. And that usually doesn't happen in this market. But what I've seen on the field this spring has been everything I could have asked for. Hitting homers off of lefties, continuing to show the same plate approach, move to the leadoff spot. You're not, shaking or lost. Look better in the leadoff spot than Verdugo has in a short sample size. And we know what it is. If Casas really hits and becomes what he's supposed to be, he could take that leadoff spot early in the season or more towards the middle, whatever it is. But if the Red Sox are going anywhere this season, it starts with Casas. And I think the reason we give him this credit, or we look at him and say, well, could he be the rare rookie that really doesn't have that period? It's because of the plate approach. It is a rare thing in baseball today, especially with so many strikeouts. He carries that. And, personality-wise, he's a little weird. For me, I love it. And I think with this new clubhouse, he'll quickly become a voice that's important and just valued. It won't be, Tristan Casas, the weird guy, for much longer. At least not in a negative tone like some people try to frame it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I don't even think it's fucking weird, to be honest.
No, he's just him.
Like, I don't know. I think that weird is normal these days. Like, I feel like it to stand out is almost normal now. Like, everyone is trying to stand out in their own way. And yeah, I don't know. I just respect him so much for that. For just like, fuck you, like, I'm me. If you don't like it, fuck you. By the way, here's this walk-off homer up your ass. See you at home plate. Like, that's Tristan Casas.
I think, like, realistically, if you ask me to pick who is going to win Rookie of the Year, like, I'd sit there between Yoshida and Casas and have a really hard time. So I think both of them are going to have really good seasons.
You can only pick one. Go.
You go first.
I did pick Casas.
You're picking. Oh, okay. I will go Yoshida.
You don't sound confident.
I'm not, because I think about Casas at first base and I know he's going to be plus there. So you know what? I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to go Casas.
I don't think you're being a bitch.
I like Yoshida a lot. And I do think there's going to be a period of adjustment for both of them for different reasons, right? But I think Casas could develop into a first. You know what? Oh my God. I'm going back and forth. I'm doing it right now.
So I would say because the likelihood is that neither of them win Rookie of the Year.
Gunnar Henderson's sitting right there. Anthony Volpe.
Yeah. There's a chance. There's a chance that one could win it. Let's just say who finishes the season with the higher F WAR.
That's hard too because of the defense. I will go Masataka Yoshida.
Again, wrong. Jake, which, by the way, like the DraftKings Sportsbook agrees with you. Masataka Yoshida has better odds. Has better odds to win the Rookie of the Year than Tristan Casas does.
I'm going to blame it on the voters because they're not going to respect the OBP. The batting average might be a little lower than people expect, but I don't think they'll respect I don't think they'll look at his OBP and understand like, whoa, this guy's getting on base like he is. I think that's where the disconnect will be when Yoshida's hitting 290.
Jake, if you could pick one or the other, Tristan Casas or Masataka Yoshida for Rookie of the Year, who are you picking?
I think I'm probably going with Casas.
Yeah. Smart guy, Jake. Smart pick.
So I'm a dumb guy? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
I'll tell you what's next. It's the Xfinity 10G network. There's so much basketball to watch right now. It's crazy. And like a ball with a funky spin, it can be hard to get a handle on it all. Now, you can stay on top of all the madness with Xfinity 10G network. With Xfinity 10G, you can power an entire house full of devices with ultra low lag. So you and everyone you know can stream every single game at the same time and never miss a shot. And if you're on the go, Xfinity will still be right there with the assist with millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. Hallelujah. Introducing the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Learn more at xfinity.com/10G. I don't need to fucking go like down the whole bullpen. We can kind of do like a mixed bag. I don't need to talk about every single person here. We can start at the top with Kenley Jansen. Came out of the game the other day with the heart palpitations, which has been an issue for him for years. Because I remember blogging about it in like 2016 or 17, whatever the fuck it was. So
it wasn't that though, right? It was like a food poisoning or something. Like he was sick.
Oh, I thought it was it was like reported that he had heart palpitations.
No, so I think that was the opposite. It was actually, that's why they were kind of excited. It had nothing to do with his heart. They thought he ate something weird. So that's why he was lightheaded.
Shit.
Potentially. I'll tell you, dude, first off, I texted Jared crying right when it happened. Secondly, he was dripping sweat. Like he did not look right. And he came back on Sunday and he pitched. He was fine. It wasn't dominant or anything, but he was on the mound. So should be good.
Yeah, great. What are your expectations for Kenley Jansen?
I think there'll be ups and downs. I think there are going to be weeks where people hate him, but for the most part, he'll be very reliable. It'll be very kind of Craig Kimbrell-esque, call it 2018, where, geez, he makes you a little nervous, but for the most part, when he goes out there, he's going to get the job done. Right in that, same as he did with the Braves last year. I don't think he's going to lead the AL in saves, but he'll be very good.
That's probably where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, at this point of his career, it's like, you're not going to be like, wow, this is going to be a big season for Kenley Jansen coming up. But I don't think that we're yet at the point of, could this be an abomination? Could this be a horrible season? Like, no, that the cliff doesn't come that quickly. Or at least I don't think so.
The only thing you could say, like the cliff, can he handle the pitch clock? So far, he hasn't had a problem. I know some people are trying to attach the other night to the pitch clock, and he couldn't, conditioning wise, handle it. I'm not in that bin. I'm not going to say that.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I think he'll be good. He'll handle his own, and yeah, he'll make you sweat like Braves fans tell us. But when you had what we had last year, this is pretty good.
Chris Martin?
Not having the best spring. I think some people were kind of looking at him and saying, all right, I wish he got off on a better foot, but he should be, along with, we talked on the hitting side, guys who work the count. Martin's supposed to be in the bullpen throwing strike after strike. If he can fill that role in the eighth inning, awesome. He's here for the next couple of years. That's just really what the Red Sox are asking for him. It's not like his stuff's down or anything. You just hope he gets off on the right foot. And, will he be as good as he was with the Dodgers for the stretch run? Hell no. He was so impossibly good. Just be solid, dependable. We'll see what John Schreiber is. We'll get to him, but Martin can help save Schreiber. And if Martin can't do that, you get into a really sticky spot where you look at this bullpen and your whole outlook changes very quickly.
I mean, I don't think this is a hot take. I think it's kind of a developing take where people may agree with this on a universal scale, but the bullpen was supposed to be a strong suit for this team. Is it now becoming almost an Achilles heel?
It's just weak. It's a little weak to start the season because of the injuries you've suffered between Jolie and, now Wyatt Mills going down, and the injuries in the rotation or guys being slow played. You've taken some of your depth. Like if Tanner Houck and Cutter were in the bullpen, like, oh, all right, well, whatever. Let's kind of see what happens. One of these guys, whether it's Chris Martin or Schreiber, if they have a slow start, cool. I bet Tanner Houck steps up, or maybe even Cutter could step into that role. Now it's like, All right, well, Josh Winkowski's in the bullpen. I like Zach Kelly, but, do we know what Zach Kelly is? Not really. And then you have friggin' Caleb Ort rounding out the group.
I mean, you're going to have the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year at the back end of your bullpen and Caleb Ort. I don't know how much stock I put into spring training results. With Tanner Houck, the numbers are pretty alarming. Like he's had a horrendous spring.
Would you like them, Jared?
Please.
Hold on. Oh, I might have closed. Nope, I didn't close the tab out because I'm a great guy. 20 and a third, 9.76 ERA, 25 Ks, 12 walks, 325 batting average against. He's working on this cutter, the splitter for, 2-3 years in a row now. He's trying to incorporate it. I don't know what it is. He's coming off back surgery. He just doesn't look like himself. The command's really bad. And that's tough for me because I'll say it here again. I think Tanner Houck, talent-wise, he should be the best reliever in this bullpen by the end of the season. Is something going to go wrong here as they try to get him to start for a couple weeks and push him back? I don't know. But if Tanner Houck doesn't work for this bullpen and he's just completely lost, yikes. That is a huge blow. Is he supposed to be your fireman, multi-inning, Garrett Whitlock type?
I don't think that he's not going to be. Again, I'm not going to go nuts over spring training statistics. I'm just not. Like if it carries over and it carries over, we have that conversation. But until it does that, I can't lose my mind over spring training performance. Because like you said, if a guy's working on pitch, which a lot of pitchers do that in spring training. They use that time to work on different shit. They're not using the same pitch sequences that they would use during the regular season. They're not going max effort like they would during the regular season. Like they're going out there and tinkering with stuff. Maybe if they have like a slider, maybe they're using a different grip to see if can I make my slider even nastier? Like that's the shit that's going on in spring training for pitchers. So I don't really take a ton of that into consideration. So hopefully it's not the same results as we've gotten in spring training because they've been very bad for Tanner Houck, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For right now,
I do want to add in, if you go back and look at Houck's spring trainings, none of them have been particularly good. And he's kind of known as when the lights go on, he shows up, as we saw when he handled the 9th inning last year. So like you said, I'm not freaking out. Hopefully he shows up. He's making the 3rd start of the season. If he pitches well there, then no one will ever be thinking about the spring training again.
Yeah. The walks are concerning. A lot of walks.
His first inning against the Braves the other day, dominated. Like, beautiful stuff. And everyone's fucking laughing at me on Twitter because I tweeted out, Tanner Houck's slider looks nasty. Then he gives up 3 jacks, the next 2 innings. And everyone's like, oh, how good does it look now? Well, I tweeted it during the first inning, so I'm sorry. But looked amazing for 1 inning. We know that's in him. You're always pushing it when you're asking for more because realistically, is he really a starter? Probably not.
Yeah, spare me. Guy looked good in the first inning.
Think that's funny?
What?
That's not. That wasn't. You see, you tried to guess what I was going to say there, and you didn't get it. L on your forehead.
That's not. I'm not guessing. That's how I. That's what I say.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Since when?
All the time.
I trademarked that.
Jake, how long have I been saying fuck off for?
As long as I can remember.
Yeah. Long time.
Schreiber?
John Schreiber. Let's not run John Schreiber into the ground this year, huh? Let's give John Schreiber a chance to breathe, a chance to recover, and be the guy that he was in the first half of last year because that guy was really fucking good. I would love to see Schreiber repeat his success. I don't know what my confidence level is in him being a I don't know, like what would you call it? Like a top 20 reliever?
Maybe even a little, maybe top 15. He was without a doubt. And that was at the end of the season. He started to get hit a little bit because the velocity dropped. They had him out of Eno'd him. That's what they did to him. He was all they had. So they just ran him into the ground to run him into the ground. But I will say for a guy who's been one of the, people want to say, oh, well, look, he's already fallen apart after 1 year. He's your typical reliever who looks great for 1 season and can't do it again. Struck out the side today. Looked like John Schreiber, the one, we all fell in love with. He's another one. If he's not right, then, the depth for this bullpen kind of goes away pretty quickly. If he's fresh and good, yeah, you're going to have one of the best bullpens in baseball because you have the ability to use them in the 7th inning or the 8th inning, depending on the day.
I'm hoping.
If he doesn't and he falls by the wayside or whatever, this will be a guy people talk about that Bloom should have traded for a long time. That would be a major narrative because a lot of people wanted the Red Sox to take advantage of his value at the deadline.
Maybe.
It's the Scott Efros conversation. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. I like him right here.
Same.
Yeah. Is there anyone else in the bullpen that deserves a conversation around them?
I feel like we're forgetting. We talked Winkowski a little bit already, so we're not gonna. And he won't be there most likely once we get deeper into the year. Ryan Brazier.
Suck on it.
I like Ryan Brazier more than I like Caleb Ward.
I like Ryan Brazier. I do.
Why?
Good guy.
I mean, on the field.
He was good in 18. It's just, that was a long time ago at this point.
Half a decade.
Yeah, a lot has happened since 2018, if we're being honest. But I'm not going to shit on the guy. I like Ryan Brazier.
He had nothing we've seen this spring has looked any different than typical Ryan Brazier, but he throws strikes. That's what they designed this bullpen to do. All right, throw strikes. The whatever pitch mix change they did in September that made him pitch so well, and they choose, him over Matt Barnes. Those were one of the main conversations. Show you're worth it. If not, you'll be getting the boot rather soon as well. But I would say with all the injuries, Brazier has moved up into that kind of circle. When you have someone like Ort at the bottom of your bullpen, Zach Kelly, I think they're going to be leaning on Ryan Brazier potentially in that 6th inning area, maybe sometimes 7th, depending on how tired arms are, a little bit more than you'd like. He's had to move up that depth chart a little bit.
Brazier. Is anyone else?
Richard Blyer, you got anything on him?
No.
Go be a loogie. Go get your outs. He's not going to be your traditional. It's hard to be that at this point in time, but really good against lefties, kind of scary against righties. Serve the role, and most likely he'll be the only lefty in the bullpen because Ryan Sheriff's already down in Worcester.
Mike Myers is probably the best loogie to ever do it.
Okay. What about Tommy Lane? You hate Tommy Lane?
No, I don't hate him. I mean, he's fine. But Mike Myers is probably the best loogie to ever do it.
It's sad that those don't exist anymore in the game.
Yeah, it can't. That's so. Speaking of things getting banned, which hitter in the Red Sox lineup do you think stands to benefit the most from the shift being banned?
That's tough. I think I'm with Verdugo. I know a lot of people often cite him, but I don't view him as a guy who hits the ball into that hole a lot. He's always kind of going up the middle. And I think that's where this shift thing doesn't really do much because you can still position, whether it's the shortstop or the second baseman, really close to the bag. We've seen it a bit this spring training already. I think I'm going to go Yoshida, someone who, yes, sprays the ball, but we've seen him also pull the ball a bit. I could see him using that spot between first and second base, just to get those hits. It's not always rockets with him. He kind of sprays the ball all over the place. I think he can take advantage of these shift rules.
Not Devers.
Yeah, Devers. I think maybe I look at Devers a class above people, but yeah, he might be even more at that point.
I'm just looking at guys that hit lefty that hit the ball hard on the ground.
Yeah, I could see Devers fitting into that as well. He definitely wouldn't be a bad choice for me. I'd put Devers, Yoshida, Cassis. Maybe, you know what I mean? I don't think we've seen enough of that hitting profile yet to really judge it, but I put them all there. If Tapia makes the team, he's probably someone else who'd fit in there who makes a lot of contact. That's not always the hardest.
All right. That is your 2023 Boston Red Sox storylines. Not bad.
Are you ready to give your season predictions, Jared? Do we have to do that this episode?
Technically not. No, right?
Technically, yes.
Why?
Next time we talk, we will have games on the board.
I mean, like in terms of what predictions, like what the record is going to be. I feel like I've said that.
Yeah, I call it a win total in the playoffs.
Yeah, I've done both. My first legal bet in the state of Massachusetts with the DraftKings Sportsbook was the Red Sox to make the postseason. Yes. Punch that day one. And then there's another thing You can bet on the range of wins, not just over under win total. You can do the range of wins that you think the Red Sox will fall into. And I bet on between 82 and 87 because I've got them winning 86 games.
Yeah, I'd call myself right there. I'm in like that 84 to 86 range, which puts you, 86 wins gets you in last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in that conversation the final week. So you're saying they will be in the playoffs this year? You see the Red Sox as a playoff team? That's the bet you made.
It is the bet that I made. You're right. I'm in the realm of they could do it.
I'll call it this. They'll be in the playoff hunt the last week of the season. That's my take.
Okay.
We'll be sitting there the final week saying, if they win a couple games here and the right teams lose, boom. That 2021, you got in on the last day. I think more likely than not, the American League is very tough this year. Like we're talking, the Astros are going to win the West. Well, you got the Mariners as is. But if the Angels actually show up this year, I do like some of their depth more. We know what the AL East is. And then you have the Central where, what if the White Sox, with a real manager now, actually play a little bit better baseball? Or the Twins, Pablo Lopez, the moves they made. That's not mentioning the Guardians who I picked. Tris McKenzie just went down. I think they'll be right on that bubble. And where my concern will be is at that point in the year, Sale, Whitlock, Bayo, maybe even Paxton, how much gas do those guys really have left at that point? Whether it's
I'm definitely more concerned about the teams within our own division than I am of the teams outside the division.
Yeah, but like my positivity spin on it is the Yankees, look at their rotation. Can you imagine if the Red Sox were bringing that out to start this year? The panic that would be going on?
Yeah.
Like
they legitimately have 2 starters.
Yeah, Luis Severino, you got another lat strain. Frankie Montas, yeah. Are we ever going to, see him again? And Rodon, the guy you spent all that money on, is out with a forearm strain. What happens if that goes the wrong way? We talked about Bayo and how nervous we still are. Now you have Rodon, who has a long-ass history of arm issues and shoulder issues in his career.
Got the bag, though.
Yeah, true. Harrison Bader, not starting the season. Like, if we were to say the weakest part of the Yankees, it was the lineup going into this season.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rotation is no longer a strength. You've lost help in the bullpen. Trevino went down. Tommy Canley, who the Red Sox said, hey, we're not going to give you the extra $500K you want. He's hurt too.
Remember when Yankee fans bragged about signing him and the Red Sox didn't?
There you go. Like even Nestor Cortez, like he's been hurt. He's going to start the season, but he dealt with a hamstring problem during spring training.
They can have Jordan Montgomery though.
Oh, mean to bring that up.
Why?
Well, they got that nice center fielder, Harrison Bader, who's going to be out there on opening. Oh,
yeah.
Damn it.
It's tough.
A lot of pressure on Anthony Volpe.
He's a beast.
Oh, yes, but asking a lot of pressure. It can tell you. The Yankees are telling you right now, we're a little worried. We're a little bit worried. We're going to push it a little bit. We're going to force someone up from AAA that, hasn't had a lot of games down there. Had a nice spring. Don't get me wrong, but we need something here. Because old man Josh Donaldson, right next to you, swung it well this spring. We saw what he was last year. Aaron Hicks in the outfield, not having too much fun with that.
No.
I don't hate Oswaldo Cabrera, but he's going to probably be playing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Not ideal.
So you're saying the AL East is wide open?
Yeah. Your boy Tyler Glasnow, not healthy.
Not healthy.
Another starter down for the Rays. Now, they don't give a fuck. They find a way, so they are what they are. And the Blue Jays, they've been pretty much healthy this whole spring.
I got the Blue Jays in the World Series.
I don't think that's a bad take at all. I would actually, if I were to pick a team in the AL East right now, or even in the American League, they're probably leading the way.
Okay.
It's now or never. If you can't do it with these guys, you got, the rotation's better than it's ever been. Adding Bassett, if you can't make this work, you're never going to make it work.
Jake, you got a record prediction for the Red Sox?
I'm taking Red Sox to win 88 or more at plus 380.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, goddamn. Good for you. Is it time for the Stop and Shop look ahead?
I think it is. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I've been trying to Google when you've been talking this whole podcast to get the 3 guys starting the season for the Orioles. It's Kyle Gibson on opening day.
Yeah.
I think Dean Kramer starting the second
the
game.
cream machine.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've named their third starter of the season, but it should be out there considering the last week of spring training just happened.
I mean,
but another one, the Orioles, right? People want to laugh and look at the Red Sox. Look at the fucking Orioles rotation. Can we go up?
Cole Irvin.
Oh yeah, Cole Irvin. So maybe he will start that third game. He's the second best pitcher, or no, actually, probably the best pitcher on that staff.
Yeah.
John Means won't be back till July. And Grayson Rodriguez, one of the top pitching prospects in the entire sport, starting the year in AAA after a rough spring. And on top of it, the people who want to act like he's going to be a savior, he threw 75 innings last year. So he's going to have limitations on him as well.
Yikes. Okay. Stop and Shop, look ahead. Brought to you by Stop and Shop. I'll be honest. Usually I have a notes sheet for the Stop and Shop look ahead, but it did not dawn on me that it was necessary. Wait, is this the same fucking Cole Irvin from the A's?
Yes, he got traded there.
Oh man, I totally missed that.
Perfect. We do have a confirmation. It's Kyle Gibson, Dean Kramer, and Cole Irvin as the three starters against the Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah. Opening day is Thursday at Fenway Park. Kyle Gibson versus Corey Kluber. Dean, the Cream Machine, Kramer against Chris Sale. And then in the series finale on Sunday, because there's an off day on Friday, you are going to get Cole Irvin versus Tanner Houck. Okay, Kyle Gibson last year sucks.
Boo. Last 3 years.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I mean,
he had that nice stretch with Texas, right?
Yes. Yeah. I was gonna say Philly, but no. An ERA over 5 in 167 and 2/3 innings last year. Gave up 24 bombs and had a FIP of 428. So he was a little unlucky, some would say. Kyle Gibson. Then you have first of all, what are your expectations for Corey Kluber on opening day?
I think he's going to go out there. Never going to overpower anyone, but he'll be working quick. Not a lot of strikeouts. I think he goes out there. We get 5 solid innings, like a 2-run ball. Keeps them right in the game, and I think that's all you ask of Corey Kluber this year.
I'm fine with that.
They want to protect their starters. So, I have a hard time. Maybe he's super efficient and you get 6, but I'd put him right around 5.
I'm going to put some respect on Dean, the Cream Machine's name, because last year, well, first of all, he sucked ass for his first 2 seasons. This dude sucked. 7.5 ERA in 53 and 2/3 innings in 2021. Because I remember dogging on him all year. And then last year, he made 21 starts, 125 and a third innings, 3.23 ERA with the 125 whip, and did not strike out a lot of batters. He struck out 87 batters in those 125 and a third innings. But he did have a complete game shutout. I don't remember if that was against the Red Sox or not, but it wouldn't surprise me because I feel like every time this dude went out there, he shoved. Then you've got Cole Irvin, swerving Cole Irvin, who was traded from the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's had an ERA of about 4 in 181 innings last season. Had the 116 whip with very pedestrian 6.4 strikeouts per 9. Like I would say about Cole Irvin is that you can expect, this is like a overall for like the Orioles fans, be like, yeah, like you're going to get some innings out of this guy. Like, that's great. He's an innings guy, but he's 2 years removed from giving up the most hits in the majors. He led the league in starts and he led the league in losses and he led the league in hits allowed. So yeah, but you're also getting Tanner Houck in that same game, who was very erratic, a lot of traffic, balls flying, a lot of contact. It was not a good situation for Tanner Houck in spring training. So we will see what happens. We'll see if that translates to the regular season. But I'm just excited to see Corey Kluber in a Red Sox uniform on opening day. And then you've got the return of Chris Sale on Saturday. That's a 4:10 game against the Baltimore Orioles at Fenway. And again, the series finale, 135. Cole Irvin versus Tanner Houck. I'm gonna give the opening honors to Jake. Jake, what do you got in this series?
I got a sweep, and it feels great to say that.
Yeah, you do.
Let's
Jake.
go.
Yeah, you do, Jake. He's got a fucking sweep. Red Sox playing 3 games. They're winning not 1. They're winning not 2. They're winning 3 consecutive games against the Baltimore Orioles. Oh, by the way, breaking news.
Oh, no, we know the opening day roster.
Raimel Tapia makes the Red Sox Jarren Duran option to Worcester. Raimel Tapia has made the roster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. He earned it. Dominated all spring. So that means obviously Duran's going down and they need to open up a 40-man spot. So who's going to be the casualty? It's either a 60-day IL, Caleb Orr, it's either kicking rocks actually, and they're going to carry 12 pitchers and go 7 men in the bullpen and just try to make it happen for 2 weeks. Or, yeah, that's really it.
Suck it, Dan Shaughnessy.
Hold on.
Got me tweeting about Raimel Tapia acting like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, guy. You curly-haired fuck.
I think Tapia's a vibes guy. I really do. Oh, yeah. He brings a weird kind of funky element, but well-deserved. Showed up. Wow. So, yeah, that'll be your lefty bat off the bench as well.
And there you go. Tyler, your prediction for this series?
2 out of 3. I think the Red Sox win the first 2 games of the season. They win they win on opening day for the first time since 2020. Kluber goes out very solid. I think Sale has a very, very impressive start. And then I think Tanner Houck, not horrendous, but gets touched up a little bit. And you see why he has some struggles transitioning to the rotation.
I got to ask a question. Maybe it's to myself. How am I going to be blowing the positivity horn all fucking year? All year. All offseason. To then not pick the Red Sox to sweep in the first series? Like, I've got to see what I've got. I've got to see what I've got here with this baseball team. And then I can kind of go from there. But I can't be the positivity horn guy and then be like, yeah, I think they win fucking 2 out of 3. They lose a game. How am I supposed to predict that they lose a game and stay positive vibes at the same time? So with that being said, it's a Red Sox sweep.
Wow. I feel like a dickhead now.
You're an asshole.
I picked the Red Sox to lose.
You picked the Red Sox to lose.
I hope you guys are right. I want you guys to be right.
How can we be wrong?
No, true.
How can we be wrong? You've got a 3-game series, 3 opportunities to win 3 baseball games. I think they win them all. I think they win all 3 of them.
Is there
I'm just glad that Jake agrees.
Is there a standout performance? Who do you think walks away as the Clark's catch-up MVP?
Ooh.
First one of the year.
The first, I think it's going to be Masataka Yoshida.
Oh. Wow.
I mean, dude is addicted to driving in runs. He hasn't had a chance to just drive in some runs in a little while, so he's going to be itching to drive in runs. He's going to get out there. There's going to be traffic on the bases. You're going to be banning the shift. He's going to say, thank you very much. He's going to be shooting balls to the right. He's going to be spraying balls to the left. He's going to be dumping homers to center. I mean, I think your first Clark's catch-up series MVP of 2023 is going to be Masataka Yoshida.
Jealous of your pick. I like it. I'm going to go Alex Verdugo. I think he shows up in the leadoff spot, starts the year very strong, sets the tone for the offense, shows us that he can really handle right field and that it's not a problem. And we're going to see a lot of energy out of him. First, series of the season, Alex Verdugo shows, all right, I'm ready to break out. I'm better than the 2022 version of me.
Jake, who do you think is going to be the Clark's catch-up series MVP?
I was going to go Verdugo too, but I don't want to pick the same as Tyler, so I'm going Casas.
Are you going Casas?
Casas.
Okay.
Good pick.
It's a great pick. I like the picks. We got good picks. All right. If you've been listening over the offseason, thank you guys. I know it's not always jam-packed with entertaining things to talk about over the offseason, but we're here for you every single week because I know that if it were me, I would want some Red Sox talk. I would want an escape from the boring ass offseason. So hopefully if you stuck with us over the offseason that you'll be with us for the entire regular season. Hopefully that goes into the postseason and we can finally have some fun on this show because last year, while we had our moments, wasn't super fun. Like it sucked to be in last place and it sucked to like the don't say it thing. That was fun. But then the second that we were supposed to say it, that's when the season went to absolute dog shit. So I'm hoping this season is a lot more fun for us because that means it'll be a lot more fun for you. But again, I do very much appreciate the folks that were still tuning in during the off season. But I understand when people are like, all right, baseball season's over. So I'm going to go about my business, but I'll come back around once baseball season's here. But baseball season is here. And now we go, Jake. Now we go, Tyler.
I'm ready to take flight.
Mm-hmm. We'll be there on opening day. Come hang out with us, House of Blues, 11 a.m. And then what's the update with the big guest, Jake?
Looks like we're interviewing the big guest at 6 p.m. after the game.
6 p.m. after the game on Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. And as always,
let's go Red Sox! Let's go Red Sox! Let's go Red Sox!
Go Red Sox!
Buenas noches, amigos.